This year, we're looking at the events that happened 500 years ago, namely the Reformation that was started by Martin Luther. And we're investigating 500 years of music through the lens of music theology and poetry, and how it completely changed. This particular concert is closest to Reformation Day itself, which was October the 31st, when Martin Luther allegedly nailed his 95 Theses on the church door of Wittenberg in Germany. Central to this will be, of course, a Bach cantata, and this is Cantata 79, which was written specifically for the Feast of the Reformation, because it's based on the chorale, Now Thank We All Our God, which was written in response to the end of the 30-Year War, which was a bloody war between Catholics and Protestants in Germany. And it was written as a hymn of thanksgiving. Bach would have performed this cantata every Good Friday at the end of the St. John Passion performance. So it was very much ingrained in Lutheran culture. We're going to be looking at music that begins with the very, very beginning. Johann Walter, who was a friend of Martin Luther's, and we can say the first German composer of Lutheran church music. And then investigating further, Michael Praetorius, Johannes Brahms, who himself was Lutheran, grew up in Hamburg, and based many of his works on Lutheran chorales. And finally, I thought it was important to commission a new piece. And here I turn to my friend David Carpenter, whose angular style I thought was beautifully suited to the German text and sort of the German aesthetics.
I think every time I've done a text, I've chosen it myself. I find the poem, I say, okay, that's what I want to set. Matt was really the one who suggested this text. And it was after I did my own translation of it, I had to sit down and now figure out how to approach this. And since it is very hymn-like, it's one of the biggest challenges was to get an arc to the piece. That with a hymn, as you know, you sing one verse, you sing another verse, and it's the same music every time. That could have been set this way, but I didn't do that. I made each verse different so that you get a sense of a story coming from the beginning, a love so still, and at the end there, the last stanza says, a perfect love protects the fearful, till fearful not we face our fate. With God my end shall not be tearful, for thy salvation I surely wait. And that could be thought of what Bonhoeffer was thinking when he was about to die, because he was in that terrible situation in World War II, and standing up for what he believed in.
The poem that I chose by Dietrich Bonhoeffer. Bonhoeffer was a Lutheran pastor who was part of the movement to remove Hitler from power. And he was eventually imprisoned and ultimately executed shortly before the liberating forces came through Germany. Bonhoeffer himself was an avid musician and great lover of music, and took incredible consolation in his years in prison of the music of Bach and the hymnody of Luther and Paul Gerhardt in particular, where he memorized these beautiful hymns that were such a part of the Lutheran spirituality. And this poem speaks about the graciousness of God's love always never failing. And in these horrible circumstances where he's working in imprisoned, but ministering to the prisoners themselves, music became such a huge, important part of comfort to him in that time. And I felt that this poem serves as a wonderful anchor for us today to look at how Lutheran theology always seeks hope in the face of despair, and to find a new choral work to represent this wonderful text.
Since this is an a cappella piece, I know that takes a special sense of ensemble. That means that when you're singing, you're listening to the singers around you, and you're trying to make yourself sound like one voice. No one's trying to be a soloist there. Everyone's trying to work together and hear the voices around you. Having sung with Matt, I know what that's like, and to have to hear one another and to make the piece work. Of course, when you have Matt up there, it's absolutely wonderful because you have a great director. But that's what this piece will take. It will take people to listen to each other, but also to be able to react to different voices. When one voice comes in, you might be imitating it. You'll sing the same melody a little bit later. And I hope that comes across in this piece, that there will be that sense of ensemble.